Afternoon, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Not been on for a while. Of course, I was on my live on Monday night, but in between that, not been too active. I've tried to keep up with videos the last couple of days. Yeah, had a really busy last 2 weeks. Last week, I managed to get some pipes done and out of the workshop, thankfully, in between a lot of work. This week's been kind of non-stop every day, and doesn't stop until Sunday. I've got a wedding to attend tomorrow, and after that, on the Sunday, things will start to finally chill down a bit. But yeah, been a pretty hectic last 5 or 6 days. I did manage to squeeze in a pipe in them, so you can expect to see an available pipe tomorrow, as this has been filmed on Friday, and my normal Saturday available will be on the website tomorrow. Just enjoying, well, pretty much finished the bowl of this Milan Triple crown, which James Stumble very kindly sent me. Really good blend actually. I enjoy it. It's got good flavours. It's very, I'm trying to think of the word. It reminds me quite a bit of some blends actually from Watch City. It's a very similar kind of flavour profile of the Virginia. I believe the way some of the Virginias there have been stoved, it's got very kind of nice caramel flavour to it, I would say, in terms of the Virginia. But being just a true kind of classic Virginia tobacco, but especially I find that American ones, I find that American blends use a lot more stoved leaves compared to, say, German and other European blends, which from time to time I really enjoy. So yeah, I've been smoking some of that, and of course in front of me I've got Watch City Cigars Simply Orange. Now I'm highlighting that because I believe yesterday, what was it? Yeah, Thursday, yesterday, Watch City released that again. I believe this came out last July or August 2022, and they brought it back yesterday. But instead of it being a limited edition, they brought it back to be part of their permanent series, which is fantastic. To me, Simply Orange is a blend which I've smoked on and off for the last maybe about a year. This jar is quite full, but I did have another half jar that I've gone through. I've probably had maybe 10 or 12 bowls of it, so maybe a bowl or two each month. But it's always been a blend that when I've smoked it, it's been really enjoyable and something that is really smooth, easy to smoke. It could easily be an everyday smoke, because it's not too powerful, doesn't have a lot of nicotine, really smooth, no harsh edges, just a really clean tobacco, which is what I prefer. There's some blends I can take which might have a few rough edges, but I prefer a really smooth tobacco. I don't like anything that's a bit harsh or a bit nasty at times. That's just, I don't smoke too often. Like I said, like I've always said in the past, I might have 2 or 3 bowls a week, so sometimes 4 if I've got the time. Weeks like this, I've only been able to have 2 bowls this week. Just haven't had the time to come in and sit down for a pipe. To where a jar like this will last me a good while, because I have good, say, 10 or 12, 13 blends that are my kind of continuous rotation that I gravitate towards. Certain blends can last me a long time. Behind me is where I keep all my open jars. I must have about 30, 35 jars. Some of them have been there for maybe 2 or 3 years. I might still be half full because I smoke quite a variety of tobaccos. However, I notice, and if you watch my lives, that's where I smoke the most tobacco. But in the videos I post, you'll see a common theme of maybe 6 or 7 different blends that you always see, and you won't really see anything else. And that's because over the last year, I've really stuck to 6 or 7 different blends and haven't really explored it with that. So I've got some jars behind me that have really been sat gathering dust. But yeah, thought I'd check in, update everyone. Pipe making's still going really well. Like I've said, I've got 3 or 4 pipes on the bench just now. I've got 1 commission on the bench and 2 availables, which I'm hoping to get maybe 2 out next week. I'm thankfully away for 2 nights next week over my birthday. Just in the UK, just getting away for 2 nights, which is good because it kind of breaks up the week, which I enjoy. Don't plan on buying any tobacco when I'm down there. I think there is a few cigar shops, so I might pop in and see what they have. But as I've said before, I really haven't been buying many cigars in the UK in the last kind of year and a half, because since the price increase last year, things that used to be okay value have just gone crazy. For example, I've always said one of my favourite smokes, especially for a morning cigar, is the poor Laranaga Monte Carlo, which in the UK you used to be able to get some places for £7. It's a very thin cigar. It's a 33 ring gauge, I believe, but the length is 6.5. So it's a decent sized cigar, very kind of classic Cuban elegant format. But these days, I believe you're £16-17 for that cigar, which is just not worth it at all for the size of it. Yes, I enjoy them, but not at £17-18 a cigar. So that's an example to where I just, really haven't been buying many cigars in the UK. Thankfully, I'm fortunate enough to, when I've been able to get abroad, I've stocked up as much as I can. I'm going away to Italy in September, which is always known for having a good selection of cigars. And that's when, sent to this year, I plan on stocking up. What I do is kind of from now, I'll try and not buy much tobacco, put aside as much as I can, so when I go to Italy, I can bring back hopefully 50, 60, 70 cigars, and in that also some pipe tobacco, as you can get some good pipe tobacco. Unlike some places where I find that, like, for example, in France, they don't really have a great selection of pipe tobacco. Of course, Germany has the best, but you can also find some good tobaccos in Italy. Never really any Italian tobacco, so just more blends by K&K and STG and Dan Tobacco that you find. I'm not really aware of any prominent Italian brands for pipe tobacco, but I'm sure there's some. And then in the day, I'm always open to buy a pouch or a tin here and give it a try. So yeah, really looking forward to that in September. Hopefully the stock levels in the shops aren't bad, so I can bring back some nice cigars. And yeah, things are going well. Like I said, as after this week, I should really be back on the ball a lot more. Overall, should have a lot more time in the workshop to get pipes done, film content, and just enjoy a pipe. Like I said, when I have weeks like the past 2 weeks where I kind of don't have a break, I very rarely have the chance to really come in the workshop, sit down and have a pipe. So I'm looking forward to, as of next week, doing that for sure. And then also, just, like I said, just get back to the workshop. I've had a few pipes on the bench, availables, for a good few weeks that I hope to finish. One's a bamboo pipe, which I've had on the bench for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I've done other pipes in between that, because bamboo pipes take for me about twice as long to regular pipes. And yeah, I got a few other interesting pipes on the bench, which you'll hopefully see slowly over the next 2 or 3 weeks coming out. And yeah, that being said, I won't waffle on any longer. Don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm going to finish this bowl of Triple Crown, and then I think if I've got time later on, I might have a bowl of Simply Orange to refresh my palate of that blend. I never actually purchased any yesterday, but I will buy some, because thankfully I was gonna, but then I thought about it and think, end of the day, it's a regular production now. So if it's not always in stock, it should be in stock every couple of weeks. It gets replenished. So I'm not too worried about not buying any of that on the day. But yeah, that being said, hope everyone takes care. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Cheers.